Good evening to one and all. A warm welcome to 15th International Conference on Role of Education in National Building on the special occasion of Republic Day, Golden Jubilee Year of NEHU, May 2022 to May 2023, International Conference Series, a series of 100 conferences, Originality and Creativity for Excellence, jointly organized by Internal Quality Assurance Cell IQAC, Northeastern Hill University, NEHU, Shillong, Meghalaya, and the Indian Society for Training and Development, ISTD, Shillong Chapter, Meghalaya, in collaboration with the Department of Philosophy and IQAC, Moran College affiliated to Dibrugarh University, MORANHAT, ASSAM, and Department of Philosophy, Sri Venkateswara University, SVU, Tirupati, Andhra Pradesh. A warm welcome to today's keynote speaker, my guru, Professor P. Chennaiah sir. Today's special guest, chief guest, Professor D.C. Roy sir, Assam University, Silchar, Assam. A warm welcome to today's keynote speaker, Professor Mithali Kawar ma'am, Principal, Moran College, Assam. Professor Prabhasanta Sukla sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor, NEHU, Shillong, Meghalaya. Professor Raja Reddy sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sri Venkateswara University. Dr. Nagarajasri Madam, Dr. Vijay Bhaskar sir, SVU Computer Center, Dr. Rajendra Prasad Bhattakur sir, IQAC Coordinator, Moran College, Dr. Srutasani Gogoi Madam, Head Department of Philosophy and Conference Coordinator, Professor B.S. Mipun sir, Chairman ISTD Shillong Chapter, Professor A.S. Dikshit sir, Director IQAC NEHU Shillong. A warm welcome to one and all. So today already maximum teachers, students, participants, they attended here are there at the education institutions and the workplace, Republic Day function. At 7:30 exactly, Honorable Prime Minister of India and President of India and the maximum chief ministers, collectors, principals, vice chancellors, we all celebrated Republic Day. Today we have three speakers. They are going to present their paper. Dr. Vijay Bhaskar sir. Doctor, here she is not doctor. She is going to submit her thesis. She is doing a PhD under me, Ruby Tamang, and myself. And again, one more paper, myself and Dr. Srutasini Gogoi Madam and Chennai sir. The first paper presenter, Dr. Vijay Bhaskar sir from SVU Computer Center, Role of Information and Communication Technology, ICT in National Building. The second paper, joint paper, Role of Teacher Education in National Building. And our third joint paper, final paper, the theme of the conference, Role of Education in National Building. I requested Professor Roy, today's chief guest, to deliver regarding environmental issues. Now, what is happening in USA, within India, especially from Assam, ma'am, Sutasani Gugoi, ma'am, native place, Moran. So, n number of changes. Now, the outsiders means other than Northeast India, you may be a compatible, but now I think in Northeast, in Shillong, Professor Rai sir and myself, we are sitting in the same university, less than 10 degrees Celsius. It goes up to 2 degree, even sometimes 0 degree Celsius also. So why these type of drastic changes? Jammu and Kashmir, within Northeast and outside Northeast and outside India. So we are going to listen from sir. Professor Chennai sir is going to deliver philosophical, going to uncover the covered things, philosophical aspects of national building and role and responsibility of teachers, role of education, everything. I'm myself also eagerly waiting to listen both professors. Professor D.C. Roy sir, life partner of Dr. Sangeeta Madam, Department of Mathematics. I know ma'am since 2013, but sir, I met during working hours. really wonderful teacher. The first impression is the best impression. When I met first time in front of near our library, then on the day onwards we are in touch. Immediately I thought it is better to utilize Professor Rai sir, and he is valuable. I am going through Assam University website. I found extraordinary research experience, publications, number of PhDs, A to Z. It is available. It is in the public domain. No need to explain everything. We are eagerly waiting to listen from you. Sir, all the participants are also happy Republic Day. We are going to start our program as usual with Vande Mataram.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Reddy.
Welcome, sir.
वन्दे मातरम् वन्दे मातरम् सुजला सुफला मलयज शीतला सस्यश्यामला मातरम् वन्दे मातरम् शुभ्रज्योत्स्ना पुलकितयामिनी पुल्लकुसुमित द्रुमदलशोभिनी सुहासिनी सुमधुरभाषिणी सुखदां वरदां मातरं वन्दे मातरम् वन्दे मातरम्.
Thank you. I am requesting Professor Roy sir, DC Roy sir, to address our noble participants. Sir, they are regularly attending. This is our 245th program, sir. Over to Professor Roy sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Amarasharan, for introducing me in a nice manner. I don't know whether I deserve all these things or not, what you have mentioned. My best wishes to all of you for 74th Republic Day of India. In this auspicious occasion, I have been invited to present some concept, the role of education in national building that I have added with special reference to environmental science education. So this topic is a very unique, and the topic is chosen as an education. Education is the premier aspect in building the nation. We know, all of us, we know. What is the role played in building the nation by the education? And that too, my topic is with special reference to environmental science education in India. Let's start with the education. You see, all of us, we are here because of education. The entire globe, the entire country is within our hand with a small device. Simply, it's a contribution of the education. So, education is a vital investment for human and economic development and is influenced by the environment within which it exists. Education helps to develop our human resources which meet the requirements of society. An educated citizenry is the greatest asset for any democratic society. Students are known for their readiness to fight for all the right causes because their thoughts are pure and honest. In a broad sense, it improves the capabilities of individuals and the capacity of institutions. It also acts as a catalyst for the closely interrelated economic, social, cultural, and demographic changes, which together called national development. The role and functions of education in national building is that the educated citizens of the country brings fame, wealth, and prosperity, which helps in development of a country. To teach pupils that they have responsibilities and duties for the country's progress, to instill a sense of patriotism and affection for one's homeland. The main purpose of education is to educate individuals within society, to prepare and qualify them for work in economy, as well as to integrate people into society and teach them values and morals of society. It's the contribution of the education only. The primary objective of nation building through education is to make a violent society peaceful. Security, food, shelter, and basic services should be provided first. Economic and political objectives can be pursued once these first order needs are met. As outcome of education, policymakers framed national educational policy in 1968, first national policy, 1966, second national policy, and modified in 1992 in our country, and recent was adopted as NEP in 2020. Here, I must mention the value-added subject. The value-added subject emphasized in its curriculum may be much more useful if infrastructure and proper qualified experts or teachers are available. And these value-added subjects, these are having immense importance if we can prepare our next generation students, the people, they will be much more useful in building the nation in many folds. That's why, from that point of view, in NEP 20, that the value-added subject having lots of values, if we can achieve with provided that infrastructure and qualified experts are available in the institute sufficiently, and that is possible. Then I must say here one point. You see, the government is spending a lot of financial assistance for the education, research, management. And we are producing the best talent in the country with the institute, IITs, IIMs, universities, research institutes, etc., etc. And it is seen that a huge brain drain or talent drain is a serious issue in the country. We are losing them. So if we could protect them in the country by making such sort of techniques or mechanisms, our country will flourish more and more and more. And this is a point at this juncture that we must think on that way, how to protect our huge brain or talent drain. Then, if we utilize our human resources through our recent educational system, and country can develop like anything, or country can develop. That is one of the primary issue of a nation, the country, that we have to look into this. And it is the responsibility of all of us that how to protect them, how to inculcate the better education system to our next generation, to our existing people. So with this educational system in the country, one thing I have observed, that a part of environmental education, the condition of the environmental education, it is still in infancy, I should say. If we see the environmental education in the country before 70th decades, the importance was not given much more for environmental education propagation. It is the only period, the history says, the report says, that during 1974, when Supreme Court of India given a verdict that a curriculum should be introduced in entire country at school level and degree level as an environmental foundation course in environmental studies. That verdict, after that verdict, the course started in many states. And it has propagated like anything, and today's situation is totally different. In most of the institutes, the environmental science curriculum is continuing. Research institute, school level and college level. But in the school level, it could not be flourished yet in most of the states of the country. That is a very serious issue, and environmental science, it's a kind of curriculum where all walks of lives can participate. There are many environmental issues we can share. Here, not only the science people or biological science people or life science people or botany people can take the responsibility. Here, all of us, we can join to protect and preserve our natural habitat, the entire environment. Why? Why environmental science education is needed? You see, the way in which the massive deforestation, climate change, natural disaster, the impact of pollution, and so on, going on in the country and in the globe. Climate change is a global phenomenon. It's not only the Indian problem, it is a global phenomenon where the entire globe can take participation. So here, that in our country, the environmental science now is started, and many universities, they have research wings, and the students are working. The pioneer university in the country is the JNU. Oh, all of us, we know where environmental science started long back, since its inception. And thereafter, in northeastern India, there are almost all the central universities and few state universities also started environmental science. And entire country, there are many good universities where environmental science is inculcating over the period. So in this way, we can say we are in a position that, in a good position that environmental science education in increasing in the country. So here, what is the objective of environmental science education? The environmental science education is to increase public awareness about environmental issues, explore possible solutions, and to lay the foundations for a fully informed and active participation of individual in the protection of environment and the prudent and rational use of natural resources. Rational use of natural resources. The importance of environmental education is it's a knowledge of this subject helps in understanding climate change impact, biodiversity loss, impact of pollution, natural disaster, depletion of bioresources, urbanization, population explosion, and so on. There are many issues. The importance, these are the most important aspects of environmental education. Nature loss coupled with cost of living crisis spells major risk of India. So nature loss coupled with cost of living crisis. You see, living crisis spells major risk for India. This is the report by World Economic Forum. The climate change crisis may be a global problem, but for India, there may also be a cost of living crisis emerging, according to a report released by the World Economic Forum. This report came up in Global Risk Report 2020, just the first week of January. It's published by the World Economic Forum. Digital inequality and a cost of living crisis coupled with natural disaster are going to be major risks in the short as well as medium term for India. The findings of the report could not have come at a more opportune time as a land subsidence crisis has hit Joshimath town near Uttarakhand. This is the recent tragedy happening. You see, this land subsidence, have you ever thought it may happen? We have technology, environmental engineer in the country. There are lots of development going on. Took place also in Joshimath, a part of a city of Uttarakhand. It is not only the question of Uttarakhand. I must add here, there are many hill states, the urbanization growing on in such a manner that we never thought the land subsidence may happen. It may happen in other places also. We don't know what may happen, when may happen, why it happens. It happens because environmentalists, they have a thought, they have idea. If we think that strong soil, it will support big buildings, that is not a proper idea. If you go half kilometer depth of the earth, what is there? We have to think on that way. Stones, gravels, these are temporary setup. Anytime, this can collapse. So this is the instance that Joshimath, because of which it has happened. So we must be careful, being Indian, that this sort of instance may come up more and more bigger way in future. We must be careful. In the next 2 years, the cost of living crisis is going to be one of the biggest risks, living crisis, because there are many kinds of environmental issues. which are coming up because of anthropogenic reasons. And these sort of issues, if we can teach or we can inculcate to the next generation students, existing people, they will be more aware. They should learn that what are the impacts of climates, which is happening because of the anthropogenic reasons only. And we are the responsible. So we must know what should be the course of action in future as far as the environmental degradation is concerned. Also, natural disasters and extreme weather events, geoeconomic confrontations, failure to mitigate climate change, and large-scale environmental damage incidents are some of the other short-term risks for India. So, there are many more issues, and these issues we have to study. We have to study in depth. At the same time, on a long-term basis, that is 10 years term basis, the line, some major risks for India include failure to mitigate climate change and climate change adaptation, biodiversity loss, large-scale involuntary migration from one place to other place because of non-congenial climate or non-conducive climate, and natural resources crisis. Carbon sequestration, carbon fertilization, massive deforestation are the threats for the existing as well as the future generation, for which we must think carbon is a serious threat for the climate, which is responsible for the climate change. Here you see the erratic water cycle. We are talking about the water cycle, the rain. Erratic water cycle, frost formation, and ice scattered in many unpredictable areas, melting of ice caps, flood, drought are common. Needs monsoon management and adaptation for crop cultivation. It is a very common terminology nowadays used by most of the citizens of the country, that rainfall, huge rain happening in Bombay, Uttarakhand, even Rajasthan, where in Rajasthan desert part imperceptible rainfall always occurs. But in Rajasthan also last year there was a huge rain which is unpredictable. Bombay, every year flood becomes common. Besides that, if you see, the highest rainfall area in the planet is the Cherrapunji in Meghalaya, northeastern India, located in northeastern India. But that Cherrapunji suffering from water crisis during dry season. Can you believe? The average rainfall drastically changed, reduced. Why this erratic change of water cycle in the country, in the globe, not only country, in the globe? This erratic rainfall or erratic water cycle, it is because of us. The massive deforestation, the trees play a major role for rainfall. This erratic change happening most of the states, and being an inhabitant of Shillong, I can say for the last 2-3 months there is no rainfall. So it should not, it never happens earlier, at least 10 years back. So this is a significant change takes place due to climate change. frost formation and ice scattered in many areas. In northeastern India, many plain land also, it is experiencing or witnessing the scattered ice formation during winter. The places which never witnessed such kind of ice formation or frost formation. And it is a global problem, melting of ice caps in the polar regions. You think ice caps in such a melting, the level of the ocean is increasing and inundated the coastal areas. The coastal areas people, where they will go? The migration, they are bound to migrate from their original habitat to other places. So this will drastically affect the humankind, the livelihood of humankind. All low-lying areas, in the coastal areas, will be submerged. This is the prediction. And another school of thought says, no, the way in which we are protecting and trying to protect the environment, the glaciers will not melt in such way. But the second thought, it is not so much of accurate. Ice melting becomes the common now in the polar regions. It is proved also. And irregular flood, irregular drought are very common in most of the areas. And we are talking about the monsoon management. You see, the monsoon changing in the country, monsoon changing in the globe. So in the change of monsoon, it adversely affects the crop cultivation, the production of our staple food, vegetables, lot of pulses, cereals. If monsoon changes, it directly affects the cultivation of the crop. Crop season changes. So in this change of seasons, what to do? We have to manage the monsoon. We have to manage the monsoon-based crop pattern. And it is very difficult to mitigate the climate change. Climate change mitigation, it almost getting failed rather than thinking by the environmentalist that climate adaptation. We have to follow climate adaptation. Climate changing, we have to adapt. We have to adapt the mechanism. We have to find out how to adapt with the change of the climate, how to adapt the crop pattern with the change of the climate. Otherwise, you see, the entire our next generation will face lot of crisis with the food. That is called food scarcity. Moreover, the extreme hot, the rising of temperature, it adversely affects the photosynthesis. If photosynthesis reduced, get disturbed, there will be no crop. The crops are the photosynthetic product, and excessive hotness reduce the photosynthesis, and photosynthesis rate reduced means our crop will get disturbed and there will be no crop. Sorry. So we have to think that way, that how to manage the crop in view of changing the climate. We have to adapt. We have to adapt the monsoon. We have to adapt the climate as far as the crop cultivation is concerned. So it is a serious threat to the country people. Besides that, the way in which population explosion is taking place in the country, that is another threat. We have to manage both the aspects. We have to manage both the aspects, that one way we are increasing the population and other way reducing the crop cultivation. Yield is reducing. So we have to take care in future, and for that, all of us, we have to combat. We go for these challenges, how to mitigate all these problems. Here I must mention another thing. Being an Indian, we are proud. Why we are proud as far as the environmental science people or science education is concerned, that India considered as a mega biodiversity country. What is this? We have 4 biodiversity hotspots in the country. Biodiversity hotspots means there are sufficient number of flora and fauna existing in our country, and there are 4 such kind of hotspots area in the country. That's why we are lucky. We must pray God that we born in India. These 4 biodiversity hotspots are the Himalaya, the Western Ghats, the Indo-Burma region, and the Sundaland. Sundaland, it is in Nicobar Island, a part of Andaman and Nicobar Islands. So what are the importance of this mega biodiversity country? Being a mega biodiversity country, what are the importance? Yes, there are enormous importance of these biodiversity hotspots in the context of the environmental science education. The endemic species, which are not available in other parts of the globe, these are unique. These are called endemic species. Rare and threatened species, flora and fauna, both rare and threatened species are abundant. Flora useful for pharmaceutical industry, for drug and medicine, for the treatment of ailment, and also used this flora by the talisman, the village doctor, not MBBS doctor, they are talismans. In remote villages, they practices those floral part and faunal part as a traditional practice to cure the patients in remote villages nearby these biodiversity hotspots. So this Indo-Burma region, where the northeastern India, then Western Ghat, the Karnataka, then southern peninsular, almost or southern peninsular, it has expanded towards Sri Lanka. Then the Himalaya, the great Himalaya, what is not there. So with these 4 biodiversity hotspots, we can utilize these bioresources, the flora and fauna, which are immense, which are abundant. But here you see why these biodiversity hotspots are important. Just I am giving some ideas about as a layman type. You see that Kaziranga National Park in Assam, this is coming under Indo-Burma region of biodiversity hotspot. One-horned rhino. This one-horned rhino, the magnificent creatures, nowhere available in the world. Then some endemic species, some orchids, which are available here in northeastern India, Arunachal Pradesh, Sikkim. Then some endemic species also, flora, Nepenthes khasiana. This is available in Meghalaya, Shillong. So there are different kinds of endemic species in Western Ghats, in Himalaya, in Sundaland of Nicobar Islands. So from ecological point of view, these 4 biodiversity hotspots are very useful, and it is our duty, being the country citizenry, we must take care and protect, preserve this magnificent flora and fauna of a country. Otherwise, you see, there are many protected areas declared by the Government of India, Ministry of Environment and Forest. These protected areas, these are just simply protected areas declared to protect flora and fauna. Other than these 4 biodiversity hotspots, Gir in Gujarat, the lions, which are again spectacular creature, nowhere available. They are to protect. It is our duty. So this environmental science education, I think that would help in understanding nature, the ecosystem, the entire environment of the country, of the globe. Role of environmental science in education in national building means environmental education is fundamental in understanding the problem and creating a balanced solution between the social, environmental, and economical aspects. Principal reasons why India needs people trained in environmental education in various sectors are for nature and conservation for the community. Nature and conservation for the community. That is, in simple way, that environmental education helps. If we understand nature, we will go for the conservation. And who are we? We are the community, the entire community. It is the responsibility of entire community. Entire community, it is the responsibility, the entire community to educate for the protection, preservation of nature. That is the point of studying environmental science. Higher levels of environmental knowledge correlates significantly with a higher degree of pro-environment and conservation behavior. It is estimated that by 2030, the world population of 7 billion will demand twice as many resources as the planet can supply. You see, the demand is increasing. This is a prediction. It is an estimation, and this is a prediction. It may be correct, it may not be correct, but it is correct in the sense the present condition where we are now, according to the present condition, this is estimated. This will be twice. Environmental education equips learners with the knowledge, skills, and motivation to address complex environmental challenges in the 21st century. Here, some remedies for the environmental protection or preservation. Our country is trying at its best that what best way we can protect our environment. So whenever we utilize the natural resources or bioresources, we are trying to replenish those resources. But our motto is to be in such a way that we will be using natural resources or bioresources in a sustainable manner. We should not encourage the misuse of the resources. Whatever required, accordingly, that extent we can utilize, we should utilize the resources. And you see, resources are not abundant forever. So this beautiful country, being an India, we must think in what best way we can protect We can go for green school concept in the country, which school will give the ideas regarding the best management and protection of bioresources and natural resources. The skill, they will produce some skills, environmental skills, and they will be the soldier. The output of the green school training will be the soldiers to take care of the entire environment. So through this environmental education and education in general, it propagates knowledge to the common people and we become experts. And a research band of mind, analytical band of mind, we can generate so that they can go for proper planning, proper policy making aspects they can look after, and country will grow in a sustainable manner. This is the expectation for the next generation, that this way if we follow, at least we can challenge the environmental issues which are coming up over the citizenry of the country. With these few words, I wish all the best to all of you. Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for pertaining issues. Being an environmental scientist, I think you are the right person to give some slightly warning also. If you
Thank you.
Dharmo Rakshiti Rakshata in Sanskrit, in the same way, it is our Ruksho Rakshiti Rakshata. So it is our duty to protect environment, not for the sake of others, for the sake of yourself. So with this, really wonderful, sir. Already we are recording your lecture and telecasted through YouTube. The participants can go through it again if they want. Thank you very much, sir. With this, with your permission, may I invite our keynote speaker, my guru and collaborator, over to Professor Chennai, sir. Hi, sir. Professor Chennai, sir, is my for more than 242 programs. Sir delivered 242 keynote speak addresses last 18 months, sir. Over to Professor Chennai, sir. Sir, one paper presenter is not coming, sir. You can take more than half an hour also. Sir.
Amaresh, sir, with moderator for the program. All the participants of the program. In the world, we have so various types of problems. So here, right education is the solution for many human problems, many human crises we are facing in the world with the issue of a predicament. So we have a social predicament, political predicament, educational predicament, environmental predicament. We have various types of problems in the world. So what is the actual crisis? What is the role of education to solve human problems in the world? So not only India, for entire world, we have a 194 sovereign countries. So this education is meant for awakening of intelligence, fostering of integrated life. So what do you mean by education? Education is a learning, knowing, learning from insight, learning from our inner source. We have to learn many things for all-round development of the human being. We have a body. The body has a motor organs and sense organs. We have to know our biological structure. We have to understand about our thought process. What are the sources of our thoughts? What are the negative aspects of the thoughts? What are the positive aspects of the thought? We have various types of emotions. We have to understand the effects of the emotions. What are the positive emotions and what are the negative emotions? We have to understand the objects of the world, universe, cosmos, and everything. We have to understand about oneself, and we have to understand about the objects, the actions, the thoughts, the emotions of all human beings in the world. We need an integrated outlook of life. We need right education to solve all nations' development. So we have a total human family. So here in every country, we have various types of systems. So one way, entire country or entire world are interrelated. In this connection, we have to understand various types of human problems. So we have developed economically with the highest manner. We have all resources in the world. We have developed scientifically and technologically with excellent manner. But we need great wisdom. So we have wealth, but we are spending most of the economic sources for creating, for developing atom bombs, hydrogen bombs, nuclear bombs. We are spending more money for purchase of weapons. So we are spending more money for security of the humanity. So we are finding poverty, unemployment, malnutrition, disorder, destruction, all types of evils in the world. In this connection, we need the guidance of the right kind of education. So we need education based on the understanding of a human being mind. So here in the human being mind, we have various types of thoughts. So how we get this knowledge? So here we have a consciousness, we have a awareness that is called soul. We have sense organs. Through eye, we record various types of pictures. Through ear, we record various types of sounds. Through nose, we record various types of smells. Through tongue, we record various types of tastes. Through skin, we record various types of touches. So in our entire mind, we learn, we get more information from external source through eye pictures, through ear sound, through nose smells, through tongue taste, through skin touches. So we find in our entire mind the picture, the sounds, the smells, the taste and touches. These are the contents of our mind. This mind is nothing but memory. So we are getting various types of thoughts. But in the world, in the form of education, we are accumulating various types of informations from the external world with the books, with the teachers, with the educational institutions, the arts, the science, the commerce, law, engineering, technology, various types of subjects. We are recording all types of information in our mind. But at present, the education without having wisdom, it is a creating catastrophe. So here, one way, the entire world is a one undivided whole. Because of various political reasons and human problems and various types of self-centered things, the globe is divided with various types of countries. So one way, entire humanity is a one family. The entire earth is meant for not only human beings, but for everybody. But at present, in the process of education, we are not developing the holistic education. We are not developing a unity of the world. We are not avoiding various types of divisions and contradictions in the mind. So we are accumulating various types of things, but we are not cleaning. We are producing conflict, war, and everything. So for more than 5,000 years, we have thousands of wars we have experienced in the human being life. So what is the cause for this? We need right type of education. What is the to know what is the cause of war, what is the cause of violence, what is the cause of all evils. So every war or violence are coming from the state of the mind, the state of the thought. We have to understand our thoughts very carefully. So for that we need a education based on awareness relating with our inner mind. We need a skill of knack. We need a skill of constant awareness of our inner functioning. At the same time, we need total awareness relating with the external world. We are facing various types of accidents every day. We are seeing various types of divorces, murders, killing, suicides, evils, mass killing, mass murder, various types of things are happening. Because of mind guidance, human beings are doing all types of evil things in the world. For that, we need a education based on awareness, that is called self-knowledge education. That type of education can solve various types of problems, but we need both the integrated type of education. So we need one type of education for our economic sources, for our skills and everything. At the same time, we need a education to promote inner peace, inner love, inner happiness, human integrity. So at present, the entire earth has sufficient resources for human existence, but human beings are living with an ambitious manner. They are dwelling all types of things. They are using all oils of the earth. They are using all materials of the earth. They are not thinking about the future generation. So they are not living with a simple manner. So they are not thinking about the future generations' rights. So they are not thinking about the environmental catastrophe, environmental predicament. So we have air pollution, water pollution, ecological imbalance, ozone layer depletion, greenhouse effect, global warming. We have various types of things. So these are some things are happening because of misbehavior of the human being with the nature. For that, we need a right kind of environmental education. So human being is living on the basis of on the help of the nature. So but lack of awareness, lack of understanding about the nature, human beings are destroying the nature. That's why we are facing so many problems. So though we may get national building, at the world building, at the state building, or any building through education, but here in the world is a interdependence. The world is not dependent. It is not independent. It is a interdependent. So in the world at a modern time, so for goods and services, for all the countries are mutually sharing, help to share all types of goods and services. For that we need a holistic, a right understanding. So we have a limited space in the earth. For that, we have to protect the earth. We have to protect the natural resources for the future generation. At the same time, we have to live very happily. But at present, human beings are not aware of overpopulation. So human beings are not thinking what are the bad effects of the overpopulation. So because of overpopulation, we are creating more malnutrition, more unemployment, more war crime, more destructive type of thing. So we need very carefully. So if we allow anybody to the world, we should be very responsible for creating basic needs for the human being. For that we need a wisdom education. So here wisdom education means education constantly aware of thoughts, emotions, actions, and the external objects. So if you are missing awareness means you are missing the light in the darkness. At present in the world, so many problems are occurring in the India. So today, so here a Republic Day for the India. So after getting independence from the British, so constant assembly happened. So in 1950, January 26, it has become a republic. After Republic Day, India has got a great development. So in the 1948, some Tarachand Commission, in the 1948-49 university education, in 1952-53 secondary education, in 1964 to Kotari and University Grants Commission, in 1986 new education policy, in 1992, 2005 and 2020. So we have various of education commissions. So after getting independence, it has a wonderful constitution. So here, January 26th is the constitution implementation enforcing date. So why have they have given the date for January 26th? So after completion of constitution, they have submitted in the November 26th, 1949. After 2 months, so they have started, because there is a history for Republic Day of India in 1930, in January 26. So the National Congress has declared the complete Swaraj, complete Purna Swaraj, complete independence. So remember that day. So with many sources, so the enforcement of Indian Constitution happened on January 26, 1950. After the Indian Constitution has given great importance for education. So here it has a state list, a center list, a concurrent list. So here in the Indian Constitution, it has a freedom, liberty, equality. So it has a great philosophies of secularism. So in the Indian Constitution, here we have a Hindus, Muslims, Christians, Buddhists, Jainis, Parnis, all types of religions in the world. But here the government plays a neutral role. So here the Indian Constitution gives equality, equal respect for all religions. So here we respect all the people. So here the Indian Constitution has a great educational aspect relating with socialism. So here in the socialism, the production, the distribution, the exchange, so all the economic activities are governed by the state government to create more equal opportunities, to protect all the needs of the people, to avoid inequalities in the society. So it has a great philosophy, so welfare for all people. So democratic socialism, here democracy, it is a people's government. It has a great importance. So after getting independence, so India has invested more money. After that, it has developed higher education, university education, medical education, so legal education, so teacher education, all types of educations with the highest level. So it has contributed a lot, but India developed with the extreme manner in the form of education. So many people have gone to various types of countries also. They have contributed a lot in the foreign countries also. So India has developed with the highest manner. So it has got self-respect and dignity and humanity. So, so the Indian Constitution is a wonderful document, wonderful book. So here it has a great features of legal education. So in the Indian Constitution, we have separation of powers, executive, legislature, judiciary. It has a great importance of judicial review. So it has a great structural aspects relating with federal government, secularism, judicial review, importance, equal independence of the judiciary. Many great things are there. After getting independence, so on the basis of Indian Constitution performance, many countries in the world adapted the great aspects of secularism, federalism, judicial review, fraternity, equality. So many good things are there. The principles of natural justice. So we have various types of good things are there because of right education of the freedom fighters. We got that. So many great educational aspects are there. So here in the Indian Constitution, relating with the education, so in the state list, they have placed the education relating with all developments of the states. and the central list are there. So here we have a concurrent list in the Indian Constitution. On the concurrent list, the state and the center may pass various types of laws. So very good things are there. So here the purpose of education in the Indian Constitution is to provide right type of education for all people of the country, to create more freedom, equality, rightness, dignity, and all the things. So on the occasion of Republic Day, we feel very joyful to remember the great contribution of freedom fighters like Mahatma Gandhi, Jawaharlal Nehru, Sardar Patel, Subhash Chandra Bose, Bhagat Singh, Sukhdev. So here so here Lala Lajpat Rai, great even Lal Bahadur Shastri. Even before that, even Sarojini Naidu, Annie Besant, Rajendra Prasad, great people contributed. So philosophers like Swami Vivekananda, so here Rabindranath Tagore, so great effects of Jiddu Krishnamurti, Osho Rajneesh. So many great people have contributed for Indian society, not only for Indian society. So Indian education in the ancient time also, in the Vedic period also it said, so entire world is a one family, Vasudaika Kutumbakam. The entire earth is a one family. So not only with the human beings, all living creatures also relating with the human family. So in the Vedic period, they said about education, what do you mean by education? So if you know about yourself, know thyself. If you know about yourself, you can know anything. If you don't know anything about you, you won't understand anything. That's why in the Vedic period, they said about the education, you have to know about your inner consciousness, your thoughts, your emotions, your action, behavior. You have to observe your inner soul, then you can understand the external world. For that, they said, relating with the external world education, welcome ideas from all directions of the globe. So here don't prevent any ideas, welcome everything. Freedom should be there. So just like a breathing, just like a airflow, just like a water flow, you have to invite all types of ideas of the world. Then only you can get more integrated outlook. So if you know about your soul, then you can understand the all things. So in the ancient time also, in the Indian continent, they said we need integrated education. A tree is there, it has a upper part and the lower part. The lower part is the roots, the upper part is the plant, the branches, the leaves, the fruits, the all the things. In the same manner, we have a roots. So we have ancestors. So our body, our mind is not ours. It has a great connection from our ancestors, our fathers, forefathers, for generations. So we are the connections of many generations of humanity. We have to understand about our psychology. So our mind is not ours. It has a connection with the various types of generations of our forefathers. Our body is not ours. It has a connection with the genes of our great forefathers, foremothers, and everything. So we have to understand our heredity, our past life, past genes. So then if you understand about the greatness of humanity, if you contribute a lot for human integrity, for that, so the great ancient education, Vedic education, the modern education, they are telling two aspects. So for a national development, for the world development, you need two aspects. One aspect is a secular studies for employment, livelihood, languages, understanding, various types of information, various types of knowing relating with getting job, for a skillful activity, for getting more scientific developments. Another, they said, you need another type of education that is relating with mind education. You need constant watching skill. So if you miss watching skills using science and technology in the chemicals, you may contribute for human destruction. That's why be careful. Science is a very dangerous thing in the realm of atomic research and the nuclear research in the relating with the weapons. So here human nature is a very reactive nature. Human being is an emotional being. So he has a great reactive outlook. That's why if you give more love to human beings, they may give more love to you. If you harm human being, they may harm to you. If you give more hurting experiences for a human being, they may give same types of feelings to you. So human beings are thought-based human beings, emotional human beings. That's why be careful. For that, you need love education. So giving, sharing, talking very pleasantly, helping human beings nicely. So treating others with a homely manner, treating with human beings with a dignified manner. This type of right education, love education, awareness education, that type of education, if you develop in the world, we may live very happily. Otherwise, if you have more scientific and technological development, economic resources, more properties, more wealth, if you have no inner understanding, inner love, inner awareness, then we may contribute with the help of science for destruction. So in the modern time, so human beings have developed science and technology. So in the space science, in the ships, so all modern vehicles. So human beings are not aware of the pollutions created by the vehicles. So they are not aware of the rights of the future generations. So we need integrated outlook. So we have to understand our body, mind. Then we have to understand human beings' rights and feelings. So another, we have to see about the nature, world, and everything. So we need integrated outlook. For that, we need wisdom. So here, education creates wisdom. What do you mean by wisdom? Wisdom comes from awareness. Wisdom is knowing what is true, what is false, what is good and what is bad. Doing any activity on the basis of intelligence and intuition is called wisdom. So wisdom is a light that is there in your soul. You have to operate your body, your actions, your feelings, your emotions, your thoughts, all external things with the guidance of your inner soul, inner consciousness. If you operate all affairs with the guidance of inner souls, then you may create wonderful human relations. So we need education of the soul, education of the inner consciousness. That type of education we need. So if you develop integrated outlook, we may build a national building or a country's building or a world building. So we need right education to avoid all types of predicaments. What do you mean by predicament? It is the unpleasantly difficult, perplexing, dangerous, unfavorable, disagreeable, shocking, and embarrassing situation. We have various types of perplexing situation in the world. To avoid various types of perplexing situation, we have to understand about our human being thought. At the same time, we have to create more love and affection in the human relations. On the basis of love and affection, we have to avoid various types of predicaments in the world. We may create world peace and harmony through right education. I concluded this speech, Amreswar. Amreswar, I concluded.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Now, I'm requesting our noble participants to interact with Professor Chennai, sir. One of our paper presenters is not able to present his paper because of some unavoidable circumstances. Now, I'm requesting noble participant to interact with Professor Chennai, sir. We have sufficient time. Over to the participants.
So my name is
Venkateswara Ganpati, please.
Yes, sir. So can we say value education is explicit or implicit? Kindly explain it.
Once again, please.
Value education, it can be explicit or implicit one, sir.
What is the meaning of explicit and what is the meaning of implicit, according to you?
It is based on a human behaviors like that, sir. Our habitual human behavior, handling situation like that, sir. Ethics and moral.
So here you said about value education, and that is the question.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So value education. So here, what we desire is a value. What avoid is a value. So here, love, affection, tenderness, cooperation, joy, smile, sharing. These are positive values. So here in the human relations, the anger, the hatred, the jealousy, envious feeling, egoistic outlook, self-centeredness, destructive things, corruption, cunningness, hypocrisy. These are negative values in the world. So here, in the right kind of education, if you operate your all positive feelings and the negative feelings and the positive thoughts and the negative actions with a total awareness, the awareness is a fire. Awareness is a cleaning process. If you start seeing all negative values and the positive values and the all behavior, it may keep all positive things. For example, if you observe the love, affection, goodness, compassion, helping in the human relation, if you observe the feelings, this awareness keep this type of values in your mind, for because these are very positive, these are very valuable for your life. If this awareness observes the hatred, jealousy, cunningness, hypocrisy, violence and war, destructive, it may say these are very harmful things, and it may keep set aside, or it may disappear. It may create keeping these things away from you. So here you have to watch your mind, you have to watch your soul, you have to observe all positive things in the negative things. Through observation, you may keep all your positive things in the life. That's why here value education means watching all types of things without any partiality. If you observe all types of behaviors, all types of good things in the human behavior, in the scriptures, in the writings, then automatically through observation, you may pick up all types of value things in our life. You may avoid negative things. Venkata Subramaniam Ganpati.
Okay, thank you, sir. Very nice explanation. Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Good evening, sir. Professor Chinay, sir, and Amar, sir.
Very happy. Welcome. Share something.
Yes, sir.
Ask something.
My Republic Day wishes to you, sir, to all the participants.
Thank you. So all participants, because so we are feeling very happy to remember our great contributions of freedom fighters. So we are remembering the great aspects of the Indian Constitution. At the same time, you are a leading lawyer in the Andhra Pradesh High Court, and you are giving more services for UNESCO and United Nations Organization for Human Rights Protection. So you are also giving more human service in the form of legal help in this connection. I am appreciating you, Hema Garu.
Thank you so much, sir. You have enlightened us with a lot of legal knowledge. It shows your legal knowledge also, sir. Because judicial review and all these things are very high technical terms which are used in our language, sir. In our dictionary, to be frank.
Yes.
Not only sir,
Yes.
you are a philosopher, you are a great, but not Amar sir always will be saying about you, sir. So today I came to know
Yes.
about your judiciary knowledge also, sir, legal knowledge.
Yes.
Thank you
Yes,
so
yes,
much
yes.
for enlightening us, sir.
So I have great respect on judiciary.
Yes,
I have great respect on the human laws and the human being laws.
yes,
So
sir.
I have great respect for the professions of the lawyers. So they are very useful persons. I have seen very great people in the law profession. I have met very humble, lovable, very great lawyers also. I have observed very great things also. But it is in the occasion I am sharing good things. But you are also very nicely contributing for helping society as a good person. Ask something, Hemagar.
Yeah, yes, exactly, sir. I would just, I would
So
just
you
like,
ask.
yeah, yes, sir.
Ah.
I would like to just throw light on only one point, sir, because the government should try to bring law into the people, poor people also, sir. Just they are saying that judiciary is available for each and everyone at the same, like at the same level, but the poor people are not able to, in the villages, etc. They are not able to reach the fruits of judiciary at all, sir. They are not getting the free legal aid at all, sir. Though the government is providing them legal aid, these people are not able to take that opportunity. And suppose, for example, if any motor vehicle accident happens, sir, these people, they don't know what are the laws that are applicable to them when any person in the village or in that remote areas, when they meet and when they go to they get an accident, any accident happens, what is the next remedy? What is the remedy they have to follow and all these things? They are afraid of going to the cities and contacting any lawyer. I feel that now judiciary has to take, this is the right time where the judiciary has to take an initiative step to bring law to every nook and corner of the country, sir. Because other than that, all other things are being implemented very well. Recently, also in the news, we have been seeing so many advancements in all military field, in the police department, in the education department, and all these things, sir. But the judiciary, I think it needs a lot of amendments also, sir. As per my knowledge, because I have a service of 25 years in the same judiciary field, in the legal field, sir. So what I think is that there should be an amendment of certain laws which are not being used nowadays, sir. Anyway, thank you so much for enlightening us with your legal knowledge. I was actually surprised and astonished to listen to you about all these terminologies, sir. Thank you so much.
So, welcome, share. Okay. So here you see in the Indian Constitution, we have a legislature, executive, and a judiciary. Here in the Indian system, we have two. Here we have two aspects. One is a interpreters of the law. Another is a implementers of the law. So here in the Indian Constitution and the Indian law, we have interpreters of the law. Who are the interpreters of the law? From ordinary magistrate court or a high court or a supreme court, all courts are interpreting the laws of the India on the basis of constitution. All laws are enacting in the assemblies and the parliaments. So one way the judiciary is the interpreter of the law. Another, we have a assemblies and the Prime Minister, Chief Minister, Executive, they are implementers of the law. So here in our country, so our judiciary is protecting more for the rights of the people. It is a exemplary one and it is an ideal one. Many great people of the world also knowing the greatness of our Indian judiciary, the separation of powers and a judicial review and the protection of that and the collegium system and all are great, worshipped by great people of the world. But here to spread more legal things for the common people, this is the responsibility of the implementers of the country. So who are the implementers? The state governments, the ministers, the officials, all the people, they have to allot some resources for implementation of law. So here in the India also, we have to spread more resources for protection of right to legal education. So for BL or ML or research, so we have to give more importance, more respect for legal law. At the same time, we have to spend some money for spreading more legal issues to the common people. Then if you share more legal education for common people, they may know many things and they may come. Because here knowledge is a power. If you know something, you may react. If you don't know anything, you may not have any initiation to react this. So here in the India, the implementers of the law and the interpreters of the law, the judiciary and the executive, they are playing vital role. In the future, we hope they may spend some more resources. They may create more laws to spread more legal education. So more legal education is essential for protection of fundamental rights, for equality, for getting more dignity in the society. Hema Garu.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We should also,
So I
as-
used this.
yeah. As citizens of the country, we should also feel the moral responsibility. Simply, we fight for our rights, but we don't fight. We don't try to follow our responsibilities. We have some duties and we have some responsibilities towards our country. That is what where
So-
people don't simply they avoid doing all their responsibilities. That is the reason.
So here,
still we are in a developing stage only, sir.
So here, very good. So in the Indian Constitution, we have a fundamental rights. At the same time, we have a fundamental duties also under Constitution 51A, Article 51A. So it says duties of the citizens. So here in the Indian Constitution, it is a balanced Constitution. Here in the Indian Constitution, we have a freedom, equality, liberty, association, so constitutional remedy. So we have various types of mandamus, some writs also there. They are there in the as a fundamental rights in the Indian Constitution. At the same time, in the Indian Constitution 51 some A, it says, so every citizen has a responsibility. Here nature is there. You should be very careful to protect the nature. So here you have various types of resources, various types of things happening. You should be very responsible. Be careful. Protect the democracy. Protect the country. Protect the constitution. Protect the rights of the people. Help all moral value. So many duties also there in the Indian Constitution, Hema Garu. It is there. So for that we need right of right kind of legal education spreading. That is essential to know more legal education. Hema Garu.
Yes, sir. Very well explained, sir. Thank you so much,
So
sir.
what I said about the 51A Indian Constitution duties. So we have a great respect on the law, Indian Constitution and everything. So here the Indian Constitution is a very supreme. So according to Indian Constitution, the executive, the legislature, the judiciary are there, but the final supremacy, the Indian Constitution. So the final protection of the country governed by the judiciary. In the Indian Constitution, it has a great importance to protect the rights of the people, the secularism, the federalism, the all rights of the people. The only protector is the judiciary. So the top level is the Supreme Court and High Courts, or High Courts and Supreme Courts have the great right of judicial review. So they may sometimes they may review the laws, and if they are not against to the Constitution, they may set aside. So the great point is there in the Indian Constitution. We feel very happy on the occasion of Republic Day. So as a lawyer, you are doing very good thing. I am sharing in this connection legal aspects
So much, sir.
to you, Hema Garu.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, madam. Any other? Any other? Okay, then, sir, I will ask finally. We have two paper presentations.
Okay, Amresa.
Sir, actually, India, within India, maybe at a global level also, so many initiatives are taking place for the development of India. But when compared with other countries, we are not in a position to reach educational at quality or developed status. What are the reasons behind? Just keynote speaker, chief guest rightly mentioned we have extraordinary biodiversity and natural resources, human resources. Still, we are underdeveloped countries or developing countries. Why it is, sir? Over to you, sir.
But actually, in my observation, India is a developed country. It has extraordinary developments in the science and technology, many fields. It is in comparison, it is not inferior to any country in the world. At present, it is in the going on in the super countries level. So in the production, in the distribution, you see, at present, the government of India in the Made in India, Make in India. So in the defense products, all things. So it is a self-sufficient manner. So see here in the life, if you observe, if you compare with the mind, for example, if you compare money with somebody, some people may get more, some people may have more money compared to you. If you compare with some people have less money compared to you. So comparison is always superior and inferior. Always it may create some problem. But if you observe the economic standard in the educational forms and everything, it is in the high level of cadre in the world. So some may have some observations, but you see, compared to some countries, I am not mentioning countries because we are representing the world. 50% of the land of the country is useful for agriculture products. So here in this country, all types of fruit, even a mango and a apple and all types of minerals, all types of things we may produce from agriculture. So here in the evaluation, in the judgment, they may think negatively. But if you observe the standards of the life, we are in the super level. We are not inferior to anybody. After getting independence, we are going with a dignity. So all the governments of the country are doing very well to protect dignity, to produce more things. So here, but in this connection for your question, we may expect some more resources, some more money to utilize for education. If they utilize, if you spare or if you allot more money for education, in a teacher education, in the law, medicine, we may get more excellency. So in the future, in the form of new education policy, we may get more resources, we may see at the highest level. But at present, if you observe the standards of the world, in every situation, so here you see the banking system in India, it is a powerful system. So here in every commercial bank, it may deposit some amount in the Reserve Bank. The Reserve Bank is a very powerful bank. It may supervise all banks. It may avoid bankruptcy. It may protect more stability of the economy. Many great things are there, Amresh sir, on the basis of our Indian Constitution. But we desire more resources for allotment of education for future excellency. Amresh sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Wonderful answer. Even I have said, but at international level, comparison is always there. In that perspective, even you mentioned the same thing earlier program also.
Yes. So here,
USA.
Yes, actually, in the ancient time also, even 600 years back, if you observe the economy of the Indian continent, Indian country, even before 1500 or something, it is a super country in the world. So it has extraordinary resources, natural resources, agriculture, water, mineral, wonderful continent. That's why many great philosophies. Many people have come from foreign countries to invade India because of wealth, agriculture, property, minerals, diamonds, gold, everything. It is a rich country. But at present, on the basis of constitution, we may expect more and more developments for equalization of more opportunities for people. We may see more goodness in near future in all people. Amresh.
Thank you very much, sir. Sir, with your permission, may I go for paper presentation?
Welcome.
Sir? Thank you.
Yes, please.
So now I'm
Please,
thank you, sir.
Amresh.
Now I'm requesting Ruby Tamang, my scholar, to present a joint paper, Role of Teacher Education in National Building. Over to Ruby Tamang.
Sir, am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible, Ruby.
Okay, sir.
Share your screen. Yeah, visible. Go through it. Right.
At the onset, I would like to convey my gratitude to today's conference coordinator and resource person, Dr. N.E.HU Reddy sir, for the opportunity. And I would also like to thank the keynote speaker, Professor P. Chenna sir, and Honorable Chief Guest, Professor D.C. Ray sir, and all other dignitaries and participants present here today. So today, on the auspicious occasion of 74th Republic Day, I would like to recall one of the quotes given by our former 11th President of India, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, who was also known as the People's President and who was one of the most distinguished scientists in India. He said that teaching is a very noble profession that shapes the character, caliber, and future of an individual. If the people remember me as a good teacher, then that will be the biggest honor for me. So with this, I would like to introduce my topic. Good evening to all. I'm Ruby Tamang, a research scholar from the Department of Education, NEHU, Shillong. And this is a joint paper along with my supervisor, Dr. N.E.HU Reddy sir. And the topic is role of teacher education in national building. So it is a conceptual paper based on secondary data. So let me first highlight about the education in the words of three eminent scholars and social reformer. That is Mahatma Gandhi, who said that by education, I mean the all-round drawing out of the best in child and man's body, mind, and spirit. So here next, in the words of Rabindranath Tagore, he said that the highest education is that which does not merely gives us information, but makes our life in harmony with all other existence. So next, again, Swami Dayanand Saraswati has also defined education as education is that which helps one to acquire knowledge, culture, righteousness, self-control, and the likes virtue, and eradicates ignorance and evil habits. So from all the meaning of education that they have given, we can here see that in education from the time immemorial, uh, from like beginning from the pre-independence period only, education has been looked at from a very holistic perspective, because all of them here, three of them has said that education is not just merely giving information of cognitive domain, but also other domains like affective and psychomotor. So it is a wholesome view. Next, coming to the next, that is the importance of teacher. Even the commission, the Education Commission, that is the Kothari Commission, has expressed that the destiny of India is now being shaped in her classroom. It means that it is giving emphasis on the teachers who is actually teaching in the, who is delivering the meaningful teaching in the classroom. Next is the National Policy on Education also emphasized that the status of teacher reflects the socio-cultural ethos of the society. And it is said that no people can rise above the level of its teacher. Next, again, the NCTE in quality concern in secondary education, teacher education, has also stated that the teacher is the most important element in any educational program. And it is the teacher who is mainly responsible for the implementation of the educational process at any stage. So as a combining everything, in the words of Vedika 2016, teaching is the oldest and most indispensable and inevitable of all the profession in the world. It is the mother of all other profession. Thus, the quality and extent of learner achievement are determined primarily by the teacher's competence, sensitivity, and their motivation. Moving on to the next, that is the concept of teacher education. So previously, the concept of teacher education was not actually like being said now. Earlier, it was called as teacher training. Since 1916 to 1950, it was called as a program of teacher training. But later, people have realized that this teacher training is very limited in scope and very limited in its meaning. Even in the words of Kilpatrick, he said that training is given to animals and circus performers, while education is given to human beings. So it was in 1950, during first conference of training colleges in India, which was held in Baroda. There, it was held to discuss the programs and function of teacher training colleges. And during this discussion only, the nomenclature was changed from teacher training to teacher education. So let us now see the definition of teacher education given by NCTE. So it said that teacher education is a program of education, research, and training of person to teach from pre-primary to higher educational level. Again, the Goods Dictionary also states that teacher education is comprises of all the formal and non-formal activities, experiences, and it helps to qualify a person to assume responsibility as a member of the educational profession and to discharge his responsibility very effectively. Again, from this, we can say that teacher education is refers to the policies and procedures designed to equip prospective teachers with the knowledge, attitude, behavior, and skills that are required to perform their tasks effectively in the classroom and in the wider community. So moving on to the next, that is the foundation and the component of teacher education. There are basically three components, which are teaching skills, pedagogical theory, and professional skills. So within the teaching skills, there are skills such as effective classroom management skills, preparation of lesson planning, and use of instructional materials, and communication skills. And within the pedagogical theory, it includes the philosophical, social, and psychological basis through which a teacher can give more meaningful and teaching according to the level of the students in the classroom. And within the professional skills, it consists of like soft skills, counseling skill, interpersonal skills, computer skills, information retrieval and management skills, and also the lifelong learning skills. Moving on to the next, that is the concept of nation building. The etymological meaning came from the Latin word natio, which implies birth or descent. So, Owen in 1997 state defines that nation is a territorial entity to which the nationals have an emotional attachment and in which they invest a moral meaning. So, it is a homeland. It may be through ancestral or adopted. And he defines nationality as the collective identity that people of a nation acquire by identifying with the nation. So here, national building means the process of constructing or structuring a national identity within the people of the nation and the nation's unity. And it is regarded as employing the resources of the state in working towards the building a strong nation whereby individuals places the interest of the nation above everything else, like for example above their personal or individual family needs and interests. So therefore the aim of nation building is the unification of the people within the nation so that it remains politically stable and viable in the long run. And now let us see the relationship between teachers and nation building. So in the words of John Adams, it opined that a teacher is the maker of a man, and he is the foundation of all education. And thus, of all the whole civilization of mankind, present and future, no nation reconstruction is possible without the active cooperation of the teacher. So here we can see that the role of teacher has been acknowledged as a very important aspect of a nation's building. And again, in a nation built by its citizen, a nation is built by its citizen, and citizens are molded by the teacher. And these teachers are actually made by the teacher educators. So teachers occupy a very strategic position and very important place in the entire educational system and are the center of national development and progress. in a nation. So even in the words of Babu in 2016, in the development of the country, it is very important to have good teachers, and these good teachers can be produced only if we have a good system of teacher education with dedicated and efficient teacher educators. Again, Vedika in 2016 in the study in the paper stated that unless capable and committed are the teachers in their service, the education system cannot become suitable and potential instrument for the national development. Now, moving on to the next, which is the role of teacher education in promoting nations building. So this role that I've highlighted here are some are directly related and some are indirectly related. Indirectly in the sense that teacher education produces competent teachers, and it is the teachers through which the education system is sustaining, through which the quality of education and learning takes place. So these are some indirectly influenced. So let us look by one from the beginning. That is, number one is it produces competent, skillful, and dedicated teachers. So it is through teacher education training and teacher education program that competent teachers are produced with skillful and dedicated attitude. Next is development of human resource. So as education is called as a service, so through teacher education, teachers are being made, and teachers produces and give services to the society, and they serve as a human resource. Next is scientific and pedagogical innovation. So it is through the research in the area of teacher education and pedagogical innovation through which such kind of innovation takes place. For example, we have discovery learning theory, we have blended learning. All these are taking place because of research in the area of pedagogical aspect. Next is it also brings out curricular reforms, and next is it promotes inclusivity and reduces disparity. So in a nation like India, which is multicultural, it is very important that a teacher promotes such kind of inclusivity in the classroom, which they learn during the teacher education training. And next is that it promotes multiculturalism and harmony. So multiculturalism is a situation in which all the different cultures or racial groups in a society have equal rights and opportunity, and none of them are regarded as unimportant. That is, everyone is given equal opportunity and recognized. So it is through these teachers that such kind of multiculturalism are promoted in the school and education system. Next is it promotes patriotism and national identity. So patriotism is the love and loyalty towards one's own country. So we all have heard about that hidden curriculum, which is also being there in the school system, in the education system. So a hidden curriculum was said to be coined by the sociologist Philip Jackson in his book Life in Classroom, released in the year 1968. So according to whom, hidden curriculum is the informal learning process that occurs in the schools, such as the development of values, attitudes, norms of behavior in schools, and these are highly influenced by the way how the teachers behaves, and the teacher's personal character and teacher's philosophy. So these influences, these are comes under hidden curriculum. This influences such kind of feelings within the children. Next is it promotes national integrity and brotherhood. So national integrity is the awareness of a common identity amongst the citizen of a country, despite being so much different in caste, religion, region, and languages and ethnicity. So it is through teachers that such kind of national integrity and brotherhood are being inculcated within the minds of the children during their school time itself. Next is it promotes cross-cultural sensitivity. So cultural sensitivity is the knowledge, awareness, and acceptance of others' culture and others' cultural identity, as well as respecting our own culture. So it is called as cultural cross-cultural sensitivity. So it is being promoted in the classroom, in the school system, as school is also called as a mini society. So where different cultural background people study together. So it is through the teacher that such kind of sensitivity are being promoted from a very early age. Next is the character formation. So it is through the teacher own personal affective domain which they uh, indirectly or directly influences to the students and to the learners. Next is the preservation and promotion of culture. So it is through the education system, which the teacher is the main component, and it is through the teachers and the education system that such kind of culture is being promoted and preserved. And next is promote secularism and cultural pluralism. So secularism means it do not prioritize any one religion for a country and its people. That means all the religion are being given equal priority. And cultural pluralism means it is a situation in which minority group maintains its own distinct culture while participating in a society with a larger dominant culture. So these are all promoted through the teachers in the school system. And next is promotes global citizenship. So here global citizenship means persons who understand interconnectedness, values and respect diversity, and takes action in the meaningful ways and has the ability to challenge injustice. So moving on to the next, that is the provide economic independence. So through education, people are getting high level of jobs, and through which they are being economically independent. And even the present government of India is also giving much emphasis on made in India and indigenous Indian goods, which Professor Chenesa has also mentioned earlier, like Skill India, Digital India. All these are given these schemes are there by the government so that people can become economically independent. And next is better employment opportunities. So there is a close and direct relationship between the level of education and the opportunities, empowerment opportunities that a person get. So next is rise in economic status. So with the education level and the employment opportunity, the economic status automatically increases within the society. Next is upliftment of disadvantaged group. So it is only through the education that these disadvantaged groups are being uplifted because they are getting empowered and they are getting educated. Next is it also promote women empowerment. Next, there is a strengthening of right to education, these are democratic rights of people. So these are being served through the education system. Next is it also promote literacy and freedom. And next, sharing and transmission of knowledge and information. And next is it promotes sports and cultural activities. So through school curriculum, this sports and cultural activities are also promoted, which is actually, when we look at these sports and cultural activities, they are actually uniting the people of the nation through sports and culture. So it is very important. Therefore, these are a part of curricular aspect in every school in India. Next is it promotes peace and stability. And next, promotes of uniformity through national education system. So these are some of the role of teacher education in promoting nations building. Now, these are some of the issues that teacher education, which is hindering the teacher education's nation building and development. So, sir, do I have time, sir? Sir? Hello?
You can use 5 minutes, Ruby, 5 minutes.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
These are some of the issues which have been highlighted through the previous researcher, that is poor selection and recruitment criteria. So it says that since teacher is such an important aspect in entire quality education, so why don't the recruitment process become more rigorous? As for example, even in medical also there is a NEET exam, and for engineering there is the AIEEE, JEE. So likewise, there should be a rigorous recruitment for pre-service teachers as well. So these researchers have mentioned that there should be inventory and personal interview as well as other aptitude tests for the selection of recruitment of pre-service teachers. And the next is unprecedented search and profit orientation in the field of teacher education. So we have seen that in the recent past, there is a lot of proliferation of so many private teacher education institutions which are profit oriented. Even the fees are so high that normal people cannot afford. And you will be very surprised to know that in the state that I'm working, I'm in Arunachal Pradesh, And here I'm doing my research in Arunachal Pradesh itself. So in my preliminary research during my pilot, I came to know that in Arunachal, there is not even a single teacher education college which is run by a government. So all the teacher government colleges are, B.Ed colleges are private. And right now there is 10 colleges under the jurisdiction of Rajiv Gandhi University, which is the Central University of Arunachal. So likewise, next is mismatch between the demand and supply of teachers. So this leads to underemployment and unemployment. So as there is so much proliferation of a private institution where the intake capacity is so much, in one semester they take 100 to 150 students, and due to which there is so much supply, but then the demand is very low. So there is a mismatch between the two. Next is inadequate remuneration for teachers. So it highlighted that the teachers are given very less salary, especially in private sector, due to which they don't get motivated to do their job properly. And the next is lack of subject expert as teacher educators. So we have seen that in many B.Ed colleges, and even in diets, there is the pedagogical teachers, teacher educators are very less, the subject experts. So this should be overcome in order for the teacher, in order to improve the quality of teacher educators, teacher education as a whole. And next is lack of proper infrastructure in teacher education institution. And next is lack of training in technological skills. So now that technology has invaded in every aspects, especially in education, so teachers should have this kind of technological skills, which is actually lacking in most of the teachers, like especially pre-service teachers, because even in our university, ICT is not a compulsory paper, it's just an optional. Therefore, many students do not opt for that paper, they go for other optional paper. But then technological skill is very important for each one of us. So next is inappropriate practice teaching. And 9 is inadequate empirical research in innovation teacher education. So this researcher, which I've highlighted here, they have suggested that even in the field of teacher education, even in the university department or Department of Education, in all the university, they are doing research in the form of PhD thesis, but then they have highlighted that in the field of teacher education, the research is very less. Most of the research that is taking place in the Department of Education are based on school education and other psychological and social aspect of school education and students, but not in the field of teacher education. So this should be more in number. And next is inappropriate teaching methods and approach. So this researcher has highlighted that during the practice teaching, the student teachers are not getting liberty to use innovative teaching methods, which is and they are ultimately using lecture method, which is actually inappropriate. So next is the last one, that is the lack of skill and soft skill training in teacher education curriculum. So this Jamwal in 2012 have highlighted that there is a lack of soft skills and life skill training in the pre-service teacher education curriculum. So these skills include like public speaking skills, skill of negotiation, conflict resolution, empathy, decision making, team building, time management. So these are some of the skills which is very much required for a teacher. Next, and so if these issues are overcome, the quality of teacher education and the quality of education will improve very nicely. And then in the conclusion, I would like to conclude in the word of Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, who said that if a country is to be corruption free and become a nation of beautiful minds, I strongly feel there are three key societal members who can make a difference, and they are the father, the mother, and the teacher. So here, therefore, it can be stated that good teacher educators, with good teacher educator, the system of education will thrive, and with good teachers, the education system will flourish, leading to the prosperity and development of the nation. Thus, it has become so much important and imperative to provide due acknowledgement and importance to the system of teacher education and education in India as a whole. Thank you, everyone.
For a wonderful presentation. Yes. I will take only 3 to 5 minutes only. I don't want to take more time. I would like to listen our Professor Roy sir, Professor Chennai sir. That's why we allotted more time to our respected teachers. Professor Ruby Tamang, really, after seeing her PPT, I decided not to comment anything. It is better self-learn. Everything is self. Now, whatever she prepared, it is by herself only. I am not in a position to give any guidance. I'm giving general guidance. Sometimes if you show a path, they go in the same way only. But I don't want to show any path to her. Simply whenever she is presenting, I'm recalling my presentation. Right. Here, good evening to Professor Chennai sir and Professor Rai sir and noble participants. The role of education, nation building. First of all, happy Republic Day. The outline of my presentation, introduction, objective of the study, and conclusion. To explore the role of education in nation building. So straight away, I can, after listening Professor Chennai sir and Roy sir and my scholar Ruby Tamang, I deleted many of my slides and decided to give straight away what is the relationship between education and development and nation building A to J. So what is the national building of India? Professor Chennai sir rightly mentioned, you can see the situation of economic situation or safety security in Pakistan, Afghanistan, our neighboring countries, and Sri Lanka, and many other countries. But India, under the noble and dynamic leadership of Narendra Modi ji, India is shining. Made in India, make in India, n number of policies, n number of programs. Even though some problems are there, but there is no single country in this world, no single person in this world without any problem. So problems are stepping stones for success. In research, identification of problem is the first step. Professor P.K. Gupta, Pramod Kumar Gupta, our former colleague, rightly mentioned, identification of a problem for a research scholar is a problem. So here in modern time, nation building refer to efforts of newly independent nations. Already we completed 75 years of independence. Now this is the 74th republic. To establish trusted institutions of national government education. Ruby Tamang, really surprised when I was working. The variable of management of education institution is not a variable of study of Ruby Tamang. That's why we are not in a position to give more importance whether it is a government college or a private college or aided college or semi like that. But after getting education in general and teacher education particular is a key role for national development and national building. But a teacher education, maximum under private sector, then you can identify. I'm not telling all the private sectors are only profit orientation, but a maximum. Their profit is their main agenda. So here the military, defense, election, land registry, import, custom, foreign trade, foreign diplomacy, banking, finance, taxation, company registration, police, citizen rights, everything. Even government of India taking a care for regarding protecting the rights of the citizens, freedom. Even though some limitations are there, here some advocates are also in our program, journalists are also there. What is nation building in India already? This is a continuous process, not a simple thing. The n number of things, GST, what Professor Chennai sir rightly mentioned, per month we are getting 1 lakh crores of rupees. So it is not a simple amount. Why is nation building important? If you see here, it means the development of education. Education and development are two sides of the same coin. There are different types of education: formal education, informal education, non-formal education, technical education, vocational education. Now, just before this program, I attended a meeting on NEP 2020 Implementation Committee as a convener. Professor Bech sir, Professor Pati sir, Professor Sungo ma'am attended. So we are just minimizing the complexity for the students. There are one major degree program, double major degree program, multidisciplinary or interdisciplinary degree program, 4 years honors and a research program. N number of programs are there. Now it is better to minimize. So here, nation building is a long, continuous process, is a long journey, must allow the participation of civil society and develop a democratic state institution that promote welfare. Here, maximum benefits for maximum people within a given time. Democratic state building is an important part of this. So national development here, improvement of a country in all areas, including political, economic, social, cultural, scientific, and material sphere. Professor Chennai sir rightly mentioned the ISRO, Mangalyaan, n number of all spheres. All, if you take 360 degrees, India is in a positive direction. What is national development in India? Planning Commission, now Niti Aayog. I don't want to mention all those things. You can. What is the importance of national development? Here, empirically necessary for high well-being. In the psychology also you have well-being, psychological well-being. Here, development is equal to physical development, moral development, spiritual development, social development, economic development, political development, technological development, n number of development, 360 degrees. Just like a dish, if you don't have maybe a mirchi or salt or oil, I think no one can say it is yummy or tasteful. So in that way, the development also we need for all types of people, whether irrespective of gender, caste, religion, region, ethnic, and that's why the government of India are taking care of northeastern states. Professor Rai sir rightly mentioned highest rainfall in this region only, but even though they have water problem, it means something is missing. How to build this nation for self-reliant, each and every village. National development is already. And what is national development goal of India? Improvement in living standards. This is a well-being, positive psychology, a number of programs where are economic development. Economy is the main for Professor Chennai sir rightly mentioned. We need a 6% of GDP allocation for education. So even Qatari Commission also mentioned the same thing. I don't want to go into the in depth of Ruby Tamang, nicely presented. Here, if you see the health is the second pillar of economic development, education, sorry. Health is the primary education. Here, what type of education we need? What type of health infrastructure? COVID pandemic showed a right path for us. There is a need of public health infrastructure instead of only on depend on private. Maximum number of Southeast Asian countries, they are coming to India for cheap treatment when compared with USA, Canada, and so here IT is playing a major role. Education, already I mentioned, please never stop learning. According to Francis Bacon, knowledge is power. Auguste Comte, more knowledge is power. So everything is knowledge, knowledge, knowledge. Education is a continuous process. Please, whenever you have time, wherever you are, through by using different types of learning style, auditory, visionary, kinesthetic, integration of all, to keep on learning, 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 learning. That is why we are here for the with the help of Professor Chennai sir, Professor Rai sir, Dr. Srutasini Gogoi madam, Professor Prabhasankar Sukla sir, n number of people. Thank you very much. Now we'll take only a few minutes for interaction. If anyone have any queries, then we'll go for directly. So we'll finish our program within 5 minutes. Now over to the participants. Those who are not interacted, you can, anyone. Jai Chitra madam from Tamil Nadu.
Amara sir.
Sir.
So congratulations for your nice presentation, and I am also congratulating Professor Chandra Rai sir. So for his nice presentation on environmental crisis and everything. So
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Yes.
so,
Rupesh
welcome,
Debarma,
sir.
sir.
Yes,
Rai, sir, please.
Welcome, sir.
Dr. Amarashar, Dr.
Sir.
Amarashar, I want to add something in continuation of Professor Chennaiya. His presentation was also very informative and useful presentation, And I think
Thank you, sir.
those who
Thank
those
you
who
for your
have
good words, sir.
yes, those who have
Thank you for
attended,
your good words.
participated, they must be benefited with different kinds of data and very luxurious presentation. And here I would like to mention Miss Ruby, and her presentation was also very informative, and few points I was not knowing, as she mentioned some challenges are hiding in nation's development and something in the last slides. And there are many magnificent points she has highlighted, and these are the practice, these are the practical problem. Yes, I do agree with her also. It is not only the case of Arunachal Pradesh, there are many states, this crisis of the teacher, crisis of the infrastructures are there. And what you also mentioned that the private institutes are doing business very flourishly, not all, majority of the institutes. So that is also a lacuna or a lacunae we can see from the society's view. That should not be. At least since there are poor people in the country, they should also get some scopes. That sort of institutes we should have. So governmental level, they can try that governmental institutes. So this teacher training college, basically there are lack of teacher training college over the country. It's not a question of Arunachal Pradesh, it's over the country. So I must I'm thankful to Dr. N. Reddy for giving me opportunity to deliver lecture on the 16th 16th series of role of education in national building. So I also thanks the Honorable Vice Chancellor of the university. He also admitted to carry out this kind of program, 100 series program I have seen. These are the international conference. So it is, he is also helping the Honorable Vice Chancellor, and I thank to him, and most of the thanks to Dr. Reddy, and I also thanks to the participants, those who patiently hearing the lectures. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Sir, Professor Chennai sir, may I go for vote of thanks, sir? Okay.
Oh,
It gives me immense.
Okay, Amresh sir. I am listening.
Thank you,
Amresh.
sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. So, from bottom of my heart, so my special thanks to my guru, Professor Chennai sir, collaborator, keynote speaker, for continuous support. I think this is not maybe extra words. There is no such type of teacher to help his own student like this without any honorarium, without any expectation. It shows this is the really national building, sir. You are the best example for national builder without any expectation. Really, Nabuto Nabavashit, it is not possible for any student and teacher to organize this type of programs. Hundreds of 400s of programs. Really, thank you, sir. Thank you very much. A special thanks to Professor Rai, sir. Just I met physically 2 times. The first impression is the best impression already mentioned. That day itself, when I was working near library, my work started as an administrative officer at 7 a.m. So because the workers are coming at 7:30, so sir is really impressed. You good, you are doing good job. Immediately appreciate it. Shows the skill of appreciation as a teacher educator, sir. In our teacher education, we are doing the same thing. Thank you so much. I need to continue work with you because environment in education we are always taking 2 parameters. One heredity, another one is environment. So
Yes.
heredity and environment have equal impact on child development, national development, maybe plus or minus 5 45, 55 or 50-50 like that. So this is a very, very emerging issue, the pertinent issue at present. We need your service in future also for the development of NEHU, Meghalaya and India, sir. Thank you very much. Our
Thank
special thanks to Professor Prabhasankar Shukla, sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor, for allowing us to organize this series of 100 conferences. It shows I planned for 10 months, almost 10 years. It takes another 8 years, sir, because per year we can do only 12. So 8 years and 4 months. So in that way, it is very, very long goal, but I'm doing very easily with the help of Professor Prabhasankar Shukla sir and Professor Raja Reddy sir, Sri Venkateswara University Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. Nagarajasri Madam, Dr. Vijay Bhaskar sir for uploading our flyers, our NDVN section, computer section of Northeastern Hill University for uploading flyer in our NEHU website, and Professor Mipun sir, ISTD Chairman, Professor Dixit sir, IQAC Director, Professor Mithali Kaur ma'am, Moran College Principal, Professor Dr. Rajendra Prasad Bartukur sir, IQAC Coordinator, Moran College, Dr. Srutasini Gogoi Madam, my friend and philosopher, and guide, collaborator, and all the participants. Thank you. Nice to see you all again. Tomorrow also we have program under 8-day FDP, 7th day. Please join tomorrow at 5 p.m. We are going to conclude our program with the national anthem. Immediately I share feedback form. You will get your certificate after submission. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Welcome, sir.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Jai Hind, thank you. Please submit your feedback form. After submission, please check your mail whether you got your certificate or not. If you have any query, please, you can contact around the clock, no problem. Please submit. So YouTube viewers also, you can submit those who are, because it's a conference, not FDP program. Those who attended through YouTube, you can submit through YouTube.